I'm Jammer. Another Splatfest for oh my gosh, another Splatfest for Splatoon 2 has been announced. Of course, it's time to go see and take a look, see what side Marina and Pearl on, see their announcement, get that reaction going. We need our stuff though. I haven't used it in a while. I don't know where it went. Y'all know what time it is. Off the cook, coming at you cooked. As always, the single most important thing, we know it's time for a Splatfest. Let's do it. And as we all know, the Splatfest theme, dragging it out. Come on. There it is. Science fiction versus fantasy. Which genre do you prefer, science fiction or fantasy? Are we talking about movies? That's a great point, because I mean, there is such a diversity between the two. I mean, there's fantasy novels and movies. They're the same kind of structure, the same kind of ideas and stuff, but obviously two very different mediums. So I mean, yeah, what are we talking about? Movies or books? Pearl's saying movies, books, games, breakfast cereals, you name it. Dude, you know you gotta love that Buzz Lightyear crisp, or Dragon O's, I guess. Whoa! Marina's saying, I gotta go with wait, did you just say breakfast cereals? I'm still on that too, like, breakfast cereals. You know, I'm all about those Choco Cyborg Flake. That's exactly what I just said. That's so funny. Everyone knows Frosted Wyvern Puffs are the best. I mean, I guess. Does that even sound good? Frosted Wyvern Puffs? Let me know in the comments. Do you know of any, like, fantasy sci-fi cereals? Only ones I can think of is, like, movie-branded cereals, like a Lord of the Rings Honeycombs, or like a Star Trek Frosted Flakes or something. I don't know. Sci-fi is boring. I'd rather imagine worlds full of magic and mystical beasts. Sci-fi is boring. Way to throw that fat one, Marina. Just straight up, just call her out. Just right there. Just, you know, sci-fi is boring. Enough said. There's no merit to it. Just that's it. Sci-fi is boring. I mean, who wouldn't want to hang out with the dragon? Pearl's like, there's dragons and sci-fi too, you know, space dragons. Those are just aliens though. I mean, she's not wrong though. There are space dragons, why not? But Pearl's saying fantasy's for babies. It's just a bunch of make-believe fairy tales. Well, what's science fiction then? You think that flying space dragons are real too? I mean, they're all fiction. You literally say fiction in the title, Pearl. Y'all can't be roasting like that. You can't be pulling a roast like that when you're still categorized in that same category. They're all make-believe, and that's the point of it. It's fiction. We're supposed to enjoy it because it's something that's not really real, but something we can immerse ourselves in and imagine that it would be. Or what if it was? Sci-fi, on the other hand, is a thinking squids genre. To be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to really understand science fiction. The humor is extremely subtle, and without a solid grasp of theoretical physicist, most of the jokes will go over a person's head. The fans understand this stuff. They have an intellectual capacity to truly appreciate the depths of these jokes, to realize that they're not just funny. They say something deep about life, what it could be, how technology could advance. As a consequence, people who dislike science fiction are filthy, mouth-breathing dragon lovers. It's all about exploring the potential of our universe based on actual science. So, space dragons, they're actual science, right? That's what you're trying to tell me? That's what you're trying to tell me, Pearl? Space dragons, they're actual science? Because I believe you. I believe you. Oh, that's it! Looks like we're out of time. I'm so sorry. Thank you all for coming. That is the end of this show. There's nothing more we can say. Go pick a side in the square. Now for the fun part. To decide what the heck, what team are we going to choose? This is probably the most difficult Splatfest yet. Like, honestly. Just because, like, I don't know, it's not, they're two fantasy genres, they're two fiction genres, excuse me. And, I don't know, they're never really compared one-to-one. And they both have very strong, like, series fan bases in them, and it makes it really hard to decide which one to go for. Because I mean, on one hand, you have, of course, like on sci-fi, you have like the Star Wars, the Star Treks, the Star Gates, and I'm building onto that. There's, of course, there's ton of like super cool space films like Intercepted. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. Interstellar, the Martian movie. Then on the other side, there's tons of fantasy stuff as well. I mean, there's, you know, Lord of the Rings, the Game of Goats, Thrones, or on the video game side of things, you got Skyrim, kind of Breath of the Wild, and it's kind of weird. Like, then there's like a middle ground where it's not necessarily science fiction, but it's not necessarily it's kind of like a middle. Like Mario Odyssey is kind of sci-fi elements, but it's also fantasy as well. But it's also its own thing. In addition to even the Splatoon, for example, I mean, it's kind of sci-fi in a way because it's kind of depicting an Earth without humans. Obviously, it doesn't blatantly outright say that. But when we go with, you know, the base of what we could expect for each, you know, the typical genre norms, like sci-fi, space stuff, and more based loosely in science, like theoretically things that could potentially actually happen, while fantasy is more on the mystical side of things, where the answer is just, it's magic, or there's just this race of people like orcs or trolls or elves, like they just exist, there's no science behind it, they have magic, they can live 300 years, you know. And each have their own merits, and honestly, I love them both. I mean, who doesn't love both of these? I mean, if given the choice to read a fiction or non-fiction book, who isn't going to read a fiction book? Let's be real. Unless you're one of those nerds. But seriously, they're both freaking fantastic. This makes it really difficult. I'm at a crossroad. I really don't know whether to choose. I mean, they're both... Did you hear that? Hold on. Seriously? Ah! This is it! This is it! Dragon skull! Come here! Legend says you put your hand in the dragon's mouth. Ah! I'm just kidding, it's fine. There's an inscription on it, if you can see. One team to rule them all. Team Fantasy. Fantasy. I'm voting for Team Fantasy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a like. I mean, I fell down a mountain for this vid. I actually had a lot of fun with it. Shouts out to, again, Nick for waking him up early from his nap to help me film that video. It was actually a lot of fun. Totally freaking worth it. It turned out awesome. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons more in Splatoon 2. Maybe more crazy, weird skits like this in the future. I don't know. It was just kind of just an experimentation to see if you guys would like it. I know I had fun. Definitely let me know in the comments what your favorite part was. As a quick reminder, we will be streaming the Splatfest this coming Saturday at, I believe, noon Pacific, give or take on timing. If you want to know specifics, definitely follow me over on Facebook and Twitter. Speaking of which, I mean, you can follow me over there. We have some fun over there, I guess. Thanks guys so much for watching. Share this video with your friends, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.